Kawhi Leonard is laughing at the competition right now. Just he's getting to a point now where he's just entering his prime years, and right now I still say that when healthy, Kevin Durant's the best player in the game. But at the rate that Kawhi Leonard is going, hey, Kawhi is that dude, man. Kawhi is that guy, and he's clearly establishing himself, at least right now, as the best player in the NBA. And there's no disrespect to LeBron James. LeBron James has been the best player of the 2000 teens. All right, but LeBron James is in his 17th season, and LeBron James' best years are behind him. So we're transitioning out of the LeBron era into a different era. Um, this era is still shaping itself, but it's starting to look like this might be the Kawhi Leonard era. I mean, like I said, we don't know what's going to happen with Kevin Durant and the Brooklyn Nets, but this guy Kawhi Leonard is a bad dude, man. He's a bad guy. I mean, he's awesome. I'm probably now to the point where I probably have to put him in my top 50, man. But I'm really a stickler for longevity. I'm just, and the reason why I'm such a stickler for that is I've seen great players whose careers were ruined by injuries, and I saw the trajectory that their careers were going, and what would have happened had it not been for that injury. So that's why I try not to be a prisoner of the moment. I try to keep things in historical perspective. I'm not trying. I'm not trying to make it seem like I know everything I don't, but I tend to know more about the history of the NBA than a lot of people. So when I'm ranking guys, I'm looking at what everybody else did in their careers, irrespective of eras. Uh, and I'm hard. It's hard for me to put this guy over this guy that played for 16 years and had won multiple championships, and Kawhi hasn't won. He's won two championships, but he hasn't played in 500 games yet. He hasn't reached the 10,000 point barrier yet. To put this into perspective, Michael Jordan, I think, reached his 10,000 career point. I think he did it in his. I gotta think about this for a little bit. I think he did it in his fifth season or fourth season. I think it was. Got to do a little math. 2000, I think he did it in his fifth season. All right. So, was anybody saying he was the greatest player of all time by his fifth season, which would have been 88, 89? Would anybody have been calling him a top 30 player at that time? I don't know about that. Probably he might have been in that top 50 category already because of the level he's playing at. That's why I can kind of feel a little more comfortable with Kawhi. Not saying he's on level with Jordan or even a Kobe Bryant at this stage or even a LeBron James at this stage when it comes to historical perspective. But I can feel comfortable putting him in the top 50 now. The two final MVPs, his ability to show that he can adjust his game and be dominant on any system, even in the Greg Popovich system, which suppresses greatness, suppresses individual freedom. We saw what he did when he was with Toronto. Toronto's a very good team, but with him, they were a championship caliber team, and we can see what he's doing now with the Clippers. He's the best player in the game, and so far with the Los Angeles Clippers, he's showing something that he's showing something that he hasn't been able to show in the past. And we've heard his this being critiqued by guys like Kawhi haters like Skip Bayless, and we've heard Colin Cowherd talk about this when comparing him to LeBron James and saying that the guy only averages 2 assists a game for his career and he can't make guys around him better and all this. We're seeing now on a team with the Clippers who really don't have a dominant point guard. When he was with the Spurs, they had Tony Parker, and with the Raptors, of course, they have Kyle Lowry. But with this team, there's no real dominant point guard, and we're seeing in this situation where Kawhi Leonard is playing the role of scorer and playmaker. We're seeing what he's doing now. Okay, I think he's averaging over 7 assists per game. It's early. Not saying he's going to hold that, but he's working on every aspect of his game, which people say was once weak. This guy wants to be great. This guy wants. I mean, I gotta be honest with you. What I'm seeing with Kawhi Leonard is scary. Kawhi Leonard, if he's healthy, if he can stay healthy, if he can play another 10 years in the NBA, Kawhi Leonard can be not only a top 10 player in my eyes, he's the type of guy that could be in that top 5 position. And I'm really serious about that. And as much as I love LeBron James, and some people might not agree with this, I see the potential for this guy to surpass LeBron James as a basketball player. Now he might not go to 8 straight NBA Finals. He may not win. Well, at this point, I think he might win 3 championships or more. He might not go to the finals as many times as LeBron James, which is 9 and counting. But because for the most part, he's been in the Western Conference, not Eastern Conference. But this guy, as a basketball player, is amazing. They call him a two-way player. That's because guys don't play defense like they used to. But this guy's a stellar defensive player. So he made his bones as a defensive guy with the San Antonio Spurs, and he's built on his game since then. I mean, the Kawhi Leonard 2014 and one Finals MVP is a long cry from the guy we see now. That guy was just starting to work on his offensive game, starting to work on his range, starting to work on his mid-range jumper. Kawhi Leonard didn't really have all of that when he came to the NBA. So this shows you how much this guy has been working. And he's been watching all the greats. He's been watching film of guys like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. You know what I'm saying? You can see flashes of greatness. Well, not flashes of greatness, but you can see flashes of those guys in his game. But he does it the Kawhi Leonard way. Okay? And the thing that's the best about him is he's so experienced beyond his years. We get on Russell Westbrook sometimes for playing 150 miles per hour. Maybe he's only playing at 75 miles per hour. But Kawhi Leonard lets the game come to him. He's so methodical out there. He's so, it's like he sees things in slow motion. He has the heart of a lion. He's competitive. He wants to bring it, night in and night out. The only caveat on him is I don't like this load management shit, man. I don't like to see guys out there unless they're injured, missing games. Okay, um, it's not fair to the fans who pay good money to watch these guys perform. I know some of you guys want to be, amateur. I don't know. I know some of you guys want to be amateur like agents or like you represent these guys or something, man. But at the end of the day, the guys pay money. People pay money to watch these guys perform. And when I was growing up, when you were to do, I guess, what you call load management, what you would do is on a game where a guy wants some rest, he play the first quarter, maybe the first half, and he sits the second half. Okay, that's rest. but to just not suit up at all, I'm not for that at all. No, no, I'm not for that. Look, I've adjusted my attitude for a lot of things. I've adjusted to this 3 point era. I've adjusted to the lack of defense. I've adjusted to the lack of physicality. Like Charles Barkley said, that so-called fight between Karl Anthony Towns and Joel Embiid, that was a snuggle fest. That was nothing. That was not anything comparable to the Malice in the Palace. Okay, I understand. You know how people like to see don't like to see two black men go at it. However, in hockey, it's fun for some reason. Uh, you got to cut the violence out in the game, but in hockey, oh man, we love it. But anyway, um, yeah, I've adjusted my personality to a lot of things. The lack of defense, but I will not ever accept this load management bullshit. It's a lot of it's bull. It's bull. It's absolute bull, man. It's absolute bull. At the end of the day, it's bull. All right, but aside from that, Kawhi Leonard, he's awesome, man. You know what I'm saying? Just the other day, the Clippers lost to the Utah Jazz, and then Kawhi Leonard came back and played against his former team, a team that was 5-0 at the time, and scored 38 points, dominant victory. And we can only imagine how great this team is going to be when Paul George comes back. So, you know what I'm saying? We just got to, I mean, look, you can appreciate greatness. And the one thing I just despise, if you follow my channel since I've been here from the beginning, since back in 2011, I cannot stand fanboyism. Now I know some of you guys say, "Oh, Michael, you're a fanboy of Jordan." No, I'm not. No, I'm not. If you ever listen to my channel, I've gone at Jordan so many different times about different shit. But if I've been wrong, I've been wrong. I still think he's an asshole. I recant calling him a coon, but he's still an asshole. But on the basketball court, Michael Jordan was a bad dude. You got to give him his credit on that. I wasn't a fan of Kobe Bryant. There were times now I look at some of them videos like, God damn, man, what was I thinking? What was I thinking? It's like some of that. I was real hard on Kobe, man. But it just comes from like dealing with fanboys himself. I was becoming what I hated the most, which I was becoming a hater. I was the opposite and shit. Like some of the videos, I think I was going too hard at Kobe and shit, man. But that's what happens when you deal with fanboys, man. These motherfuckers turn you into a monster. But at the end of the day, man, you can appreciate other players, man. You can appreciate Kawhi Leonard. You can appreciate LeBron James. You can appreciate Luka Doncic and Trey Young. All these great players, man, in the league right now. Ain't no need to be a fan of one guy, man. That's a lonely position just to be a fan of one guy because you're gonna be disappointed ultimately. You know what I'm saying? Because that guy can get old. So that's it, man. That's all I got to say, man. Tell me what you guys think.